Back to my next video. Well, obviously, I've got another fridge here to test, and I'm trying to do less fridges. Believe me, I am. But this company, Lion Cooler, made by Acco Power, wanted to send me this, and I actually wanted to. This is the first time that I've ever actually wanted one to keep for myself. Of all the fridges I've tested, and there have been an awful lot. In fact, of all the products I've ever tested, I don't believe I've ever kept any of them. But fridges, I'm 100% certain I've never kept any of the fridges. There's not one in my rig. And so I'm keeping this one. And that should tell you something right there, that I am very confident in the quality, workmanship, durability of this fridge, that I'm keeping this one. And the only reason I let them send it to me was because I wanted to keep it. So I do have a very high opinion of Acco Power Lion Cooler fridges. And this one's a little bit unique, but they're overpriced. I know that I shouldn't be saying that, should I? Again, let me assure you, I don't make a penny off of this fridge or from any of the things I test. I don't make a penny. I do not have any obligation to them to say things that are not true. My only obligation is to you and your well-being, and believe me, I take that as a sacred trust, more important to me than anything else in my life. I lose your trust, I've lost everything of value to me. So I can't do that. But I will tell you, I'm keeping this one. And so, although I'm getting it for free, so it's pretty easy to keep it when it's free. But I found them to be really good fridges, really good fridges. They are overpriced. So for the majority of you, you shouldn't buy this. You should buy a lesser quality fridge and a battery unit. Lion Cooler's claim to fame is that they have batteries. They actually have batteries inside of them. And I think that's a very good thing, but they charge such a premium for them that I don't think they're worth it. So I'm going to show you the battery right now. But let me tell you right now that it's running. And one of the complaints I've had about Lion Cooler in the past is they were too noisy. And that has been my experience. This is the third one. And the first two, I think, were some of the louder fridges I'd owned. Not the loudest, but fairly loud. This is very, very quiet. This is probably the quietest fridge I've ever owned. And I don't know how they made that happen, but this is a very quiet fridge. So the great thing about these Lion Coolers is the batteries. So the battery's right in here, and I pull it out, and it's going to keep running because I have it plugged in here. But so it has its own battery pack, and that's really cool. So if the power goes out, it'll just switch right over to the battery, and then you've got this. This is a 193 watt-hour battery. It's really cool. I think this is a good thing. I will tell you that the combination together is generally too expensive, and it's not worth the money. And let me talk to you more about that. But just so I can show you, I'm going to unplug this, and now it's running on the battery. It's still running, and I've had this happen. It's not running on this anymore. It's running on the internal battery. And the only reason I have this out here is to show you how much power it's drawing, because it'll give us a digital readout of the power being used, and that'll be useful to you to know how much power it draws. So then why am I talking to you? If this is overpriced, because it goes on sale all the time. So what my recommendation is, this is a very desirable fridge. You don't want to pay retail, you want to pay a good deal. And they have a really good deal going on this fridge right now. And that's really what I'm telling you about. So it's June 8th, 2022 when I'm shooting this. And right now it's on Kickstarter, but in about a week it's going to go off Kickstarter and it's going to go on to Indiegogo. And they have an outstanding deal on this right now while it's on Kickstarter, and then on Indiegogo the prices will be the same. And the Indiegogo price will last for about 2 months. And so for the next 2 months, a little more than 2 months, this is such a good deal. I think if you're looking for a fridge and you want 30 quarts, this is 28 quarts, and if you're looking for about this size, this is the fridge to buy. And I would recommend that you go buy it right now because it's just that good. Now, so let me give you the details on the pricing. It's a little complicated. You're going to have to follow along with me. So on Kickstarter now, and in just a week or two, it's going to switch over to Indiegogo for 2 more months. So it's June 8th, 2022. If you watch this much later, then this deal is going to be off, and you'll just have to watch Amazon for it to go on sale. And it does go on sale for Amazon Just keep watching. When it goes on sale, buy it because it's a good deal. So this is different from all their other line coolers. It doesn't have wheels and it doesn't have a handle. The idea behind the battery is it's portable. So, and that is really a cool thing. So, I carry it right out here. I did bring this out here, but I don't need to because it has its own battery. Say I want to go down to the lake. I want to go down to the picnic. You have this in your home running it on 110 and or in your cabin or in your RV, and you want to take this down to the lake to have a picnic. Well, this is with the wheels and the handle. It's very easy. This one doesn't have wheels or handles. This was designed to fit in between the front seats of your rig, and I know it would fit inside of between the van. My ambulance doesn't have a space, so I can't test it in my ambulance. I know it would fit inside any of the vans I've ever owned. I don't know if it would fit between in a minivan or not, but they have two of them. This is the Mini. That's what they're calling it, the Lion Cooler Mini. They have it the 18-liter Mini, and it's half the size, and it just stops here. They just add this extra on to get the 28, and they just happened to send me the 28. And so it's small. It fits in a small area. It's designed to fit in between your front seats, and it's really cool with the battery. So here's the pricing. This is the main thing I want you to be aware of. This is very quiet. It's very efficient. I like everything about this fridge. I don't have a bad word to say about it. It really is a very, very good fridge. That's why I'm going to own it, because it's going to be worth my owning even if I didn't pay for it. At these prices, I would have bought it. At the prices I'm giving you now, I would have bought it. Okay, so the 18-liter on Kickstarter, and here in just a little bit in June and July of 2022, on Kickstarter, the 18-liter is $226, no battery. So you're just buying the fridge. You could add the battery later if you wanted to, but right now there's no battery. And this one you're looking at, the 28-liter, is $263. That's a really good price. And again, no battery. You can buy the battery with it, but it's going to cost you more, and I'll give you those prices in just a minute. And so I think that is really a good deal. I would gladly pay $263 for this and not get the battery, because I think these are a better choice for a battery anyway. Buy this instead. The battery's good, but if I'm going to spend a lot of extra for it, I'm not going to buy it, because this is far, far better. This is a 263 watt-hour Bluetti, and it's not that much more money than the battery that's in this thing, and does 1,000 times more. I mean, this is just so far superior. I would buy this, and then I'd be really set. That's what I recommend that you do, unless you have the money and you want the safety and the security of having the battery inside. Then, and if you have the money, then this is a great unit even at full price. If you have the extra money, if you're on a budget, don't buy them. Only wait, get them on sale. So with the battery, if you want to buy it with the battery, the 18-liter is $401, and that includes the battery. And with this one, the 28-liter with the battery is $441. That's a good deal. I wouldn't spend that much money for the battery. I would buy one of these instead, because this is so much more useful and practical a device than just the battery that's inside here. If you buy this with the battery for $441 off of Indiegogo or Kickstarter right now, you're paying $178 for the battery by itself. You know, the difference between buying it without the battery and with the battery is $178. And so I'm using this one again as an example, because I just did a review of this, and this is by far the best small to medium, 268 watt hours. This is by far the best one I've ever seen, and it's full retail on this is $300, so that's a lot more than the $178 for this on the Kickstarter. So we're comparing this Bluetti EB3A versus this from ACOpower. So full price on this. You go to the website right now, you can buy it. It's $228. This is $300. So it's $80 more. But it does infinitely more. Spend the $80 and buy this. Don't even think about buying this for $80. For $300 full retail on this, this is the best one on the market. What it does is great. Buy this. This is not a LifePo 4. I don't remember what the cycling is on it. but it's less than 1,000. This is 2,500 plus. In every way, this is far, far superior. Um, so that's why I'm saying don't buy the two in a combination at full retail. It's because buying a station is such a superior deal. So that's what I'm going to say. Now, at the time that this is going to be on sale for $178 when you buy it with this off of Indiegogo, this is going to be on sale for $225. And I happen to know that because they sent this to me to test. So again, if you're watching this in the future, it'll be off sale. I don't know how long the sale will last. It starts on June 14th. This Bluetti goes on sale on June 14th, and it's $2.99 regular price. They're going to knock it down to $2.50, and they're giving me a code for, you'll have to go watch the video because I don't remember the code. They're giving me a code for another 10% off, so it'll be $225. $225 versus $228, come on. Who would even think about buying this when you could buy this? So again, that's on a really good sale, but $178 is a really good sale on this. So, and all this has is 3 USB ports. That's it. That's all you're going to buy as a power station is the 3 USB ports. Well, of course, this has, you know, it has a 12-volt cigarette port. It's got a 600-watt inverter. It's got wireless charge. I mean, the list of features on this thing is just, it's amazing. There's no comparison. This is Superman versus a twig. That's what this is. So don't even compare these two. So what am I saying? I am saying an awful lot, aren't I? I hope I'm just not overwhelming you with all this stuff. There's a great cooler. Right now, in June of 2022, you can buy it either on Kickstarter. I'll put the links down below. Either on Kickstarter, when that campaign ends, it'll go on to Indiegogo. You can buy this 28-quart cooler without the fridge for $263. That's a fantastic deal. If you're looking for right now, you're getting into the market, you need a fridge, you need a power station to power it, buy these two, okay? This is, they'll be linked to both of them down below. But this is my recommendation at $268. I think it's the best fridge you can buy in June of 2022. And if you're watching this later, it'll be more. And then just watch for a sale because it's an excellent, excellent fridge. Let me tell you that right now it's drawing 95 watts off of my Bluetti. But that's because it's charging. It's running the fridge. The fridge is sitting out here in the sun, so obviously it's charging. It's running because it's getting hot. So it's burning 95 watts, but that's to charge it. Let me take the battery back out, and we'll see what the fridge just runs by itself. We got some cattle you can hear. I'm in the National Forest. So now it's drawing 50 watts. So this fridge draws 50 watts. That's been what I've seen it consistently drawing off of a 110-volt inverter. It runs 50 watts. And if the battery is low and it's charging it, it uses another 50 watts. It needs 100 watts to both run it and to charge it. So that's been my observation. So I've been using it as a freezer, and again, that's very demanding. That's much more demanding than just using it as a cooler. And I have it literally sitting right beside my bed because I didn't have anywhere else good place to put it. So it is, I can't touch it laying in bed, but I can just lean over the bed, the end of the bed, and touch it. And it is so quiet, it's amazing. I'm barely ever aware that it's running. I really am impressed with how very quiet this is. It stays at frozen, and I set it at I set it at 5 degrees, and everything is hard from top to bottom. Everything stays frozen hard. So like I've got bagged vegetables, and if you play with the peas or the broccoli, it's all frozen hard. Nothing's soft in any way. And at the very bottom, I keep the meat at the bottom, of course, and it's really frozen solid. I haven't kept ice cream, but I'm confident I could set at 5 degrees. It's a great freezer, and it isn't running a lot either. Because I add extra insulation. I think that's really important if you're running a freezer. It's a rule of physics that the bigger the difference between, if you have a border, and this side is cold and this side is hot, the bigger the difference between the two, the more the pull, I guess, of the heat escaping into, I think that would be the physical way to describe it, into the cold, the intermixing of the two, the greater the demand, the greater it pulls through. So when it's set at 5 degrees as opposed to 35 or 45 degrees, it uses a lot more power, and it has worked so well. I have just had no problem with this as a freezer. I'm delighted with this Lion Cooler Acco Power 28-liter Mini, and I highly recommend them to you. Uh, in June of 2022, when I'm shooting this, go to either down in the link below, either go to the Kickstarter campaign if it's still on, or the Indiegogo campaign, and get a fantastic deal on it. I think you'll be really pleased that you did. If you have to buy it without the battery, that's fine. Maybe you can pick it up later. It's not essential that you have the battery. It's such a good deal that I'd buy it with or without the battery. If you have the extra money, buy the battery. But this is by far a superior battery and power management system. Okay, so that's all I have to say. I'd like to hear what you think. How big a deal is it having that battery into you? What do you think? Is it worth paying all that extra money to get that built-in battery? It is really a good thing. If you're out and the power fails for some reason, your solar system dies, you won't lose your food. And the first time you throw away all the food you have in here and you didn't have the battery, maybe you'll be kicking yourself and said, I shouldn't have listened to that dumb Bob. I should have bought that battery. It's your decision to make. I'm not making your decision for you. I'm just giving you pros and cons. I do think that's a really good issue. If you've got a battery in here, because I've set mine in a freezer, it'll only run it for about 5 hours. It won't run it a long time. If you're running it as a normal cooler, 35, 45 degrees in that range, it should easily run 10, 12 hours, no problem. And so I've got a bunch of meat and all kinds of pretty expensive things in here. If I ever have a failure and lose all my meat because there's no battery, then that was false economy. The battery would have saved me a whole bunch of money. Okay, I'm done. I'd like to hear from you. Is the battery worth it to you? Okay, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you save money and get a really superior unit as a fridge, because having a fridge is just so nice. I can't imagine. I haven't been without a fridge in so long, I can't imagine being without one. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you're watching the video. If you got anything out of this, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.